for some reason. I don't know why. So I just thought, well, I'll just go natural tonight and put a little lip gloss on, and then I won't have to wash my face afterwards. And yeah, so I'm sorry. This is what I look like, but
You're cute.
I've got the
You're
director's
fine.
cut.
Good.
All right, here we go. We are back at Zoom. We are on YouTube. There we go. All right. Well, ladies, thank you for joining me tonight. I am bringing back sharing a training with you. When I first joined Mary Kay, it'll be 17 years ago, this at the end of this month, just crazy. My aunt, who's my recruiter, gave me 4 CDs that were burned because that's how we listen to things, right? Like it wasn't with all of these digital downloads and everything. So, there were 4 CDs, listened to them in my car, and this was one of the CDs. She felt like one of the most important things for us to get as brand new beauty consultants was a training called Dealing with Disappointments. So, who has had a disappointment in their business ever? Right? Even if you've been in Mary Kay for like 2 seconds, there's probably a disappointment. Yeah, right. And so she wanted us to have this CD to listen to put things in perspective, to give us some tools for managing emotions. I have not listened to this in years, but it is something that has always blessed me. So if you don't have a notebook and a pen, I highly recommend running and grabbing one right now. There are so many great nuggets here. I'm not even going to introduce this person. I am just going to start playing it. And I'm going to need a thumbs up that you can hear her because I am going to be sharing a screen so that with the sound, and hopefully that'll work that way. So let me grab that. So that's going to be media player, share sound, and then, okay, let me know if you can hear this.
I'm going to go ahead and get started this morning. My name is Eileen Huffman, and I'm a future executive senior sales director out of Lawrence, Kansas. And I am so excited to be with you ladies this morning. And I know for every consultant and director that has called on this line, you are committed to your business and you are a woman of excellence. To call in at 9 o'clock Central Time on a Saturday morning, I know you're a woman of excellence. And I have been so excited to, first of all, recognize the winners from the challenges that have been going on. So first of all, I want to give some awesome recognition. Out of Lisa Rada's unit, we're going to first start by recognizing our 3+3+3, which is our $300 a week gals, our 3 interview gals, and our 3 classes a week. So the 3+3+3. So out of Lisa Rada's unit, we have Diane Hesselbein and Denise Rosef. So congratulations to you ladies. And then, of course, I want to recognize out of Kim Messmer's this morning is called Dealing with Disappointment. Let me just say that one more time. Dealing with disappointment. Now, if you have been in Mary Kay any length of time, you may have experienced some disappointment. So instead of sharing with you my entire I story, which would pretty much take up the rest of the time that I would have on this call, I've chosen just to share parts of my I story that are consistent with my topic. So one of my biggest nuggets that I want to share with you today, this morning, is when you are dealing with disappointment, number one, for all those C personalities out there, number one is, what are you choosing to focus on? What are you choosing to focus on? And ladies, it is a choice. It is absolutely a choice. We have a choice over our attitude every single day. I know that during all of these Saturday morning trainings, you ladies have learned a lot about booking and coaching and selling and recruiting. And the next level of the business is your attitude. And isn't it exciting that we get to choose our attitude on a daily basis? And what I see in consultants who deal with disappointment better, because it's not that it's easier for anybody else. And I think that's one really important thing to recognize, is that it is not easier for anybody else to deal with disappointment. It's just, what are they choosing to focus on? And I want to give you some real examples in our business. for instance, when you have 3 guests lined up for your unit meeting and they do not show up, and you are thinking to yourself on the way home, why didn't they come? They seemed so excited. And as women, we are blessed with so much emotion, which is a good thing at times when channeled in the right direction. And so what I've tried to do in helping myself, and I am still growing on this journey. I would never say any of us have arrived, and that's why it's so humbling to be your speaker this morning, because I'm not going to tell you that I feel like I've got it figured out, but I have definitely learned some tools that have helped me. And one of those is channeling that emotion when something happens that is disappointing in your business. And I think we would all agree that one disappointment is when people don't show up when they say they're going to. And so one thing that I have done is when I get in the car and if my guests have not shown up or, the class didn't go the way I wanted it to, I just think to myself, Eileen, you have a choice in this moment, and you can choose to be frustrated and spend all that energy within that emotion, or you can tell yourself, I am the follow-up queen, and those ladies just don't know who they messed with because I am going to follow up and follow through like nobody's business. And ladies, if you want to go up, you have to follow up. And there's a reason why about 2 to 5% of women follow up. That's exactly the numbers of percentage of sales directors in this company is the 2 to 5% of women become sales directors. And I know every one of you on this line wants to be a sales director. And so if you are willing to follow up after disappointment, you cannot even believe what that will do for your business. And of course, you've got to follow up with a big cheesy smile on the other end of the phone and acting like, you know what, it's okay, because here's what I know. People do not book with us. They do not say that they're going to come to a meeting. They don't say that they're going to be on an interview. They don't say that they're going to be at a restaurant. And then they hang up the phone with us and they go, I am going to make Eileen's life miserable and not show up. They don't do that. That's not the intent of what they're trying to do. What happens for them is life. And that's exactly what happens to us, is life. And so one thing that National Sales Director Tammy Craig has said that has stuck with me over the years is that a pity party is the most expensive party you will ever throw yourself. I don't know if you ladies have ever heard that. A pity party is the most expensive party you will throw yourself. And the longer you stay in your pity party, the more expensive it is because you are losing money the longer you stay there. The other thing is you can make excuses or you can make money. And if you continue to make excuses, from your disappointments, then you're not making money. And I don't know about you ladies, but, I want to make money. And so there are certain things that have helped me through this journey. I also think it's very important that we keep our business in perspective. And, I wish you could have heard Stephanie Richter's story that she just shared, but I'll use a different one. And my husband used to be an Olympic pole vaulter. That's what he did for a living. It was a very crazy profession. And in the 1992 Olympics, he was favored to be one of the 3 that would go on to win a medal. Well, in the Olympics, it comes down to one day. Thank goodness Mary Kay doesn't come down to one day. Aren't you ladies thrilled that Mary Kay doesn't come down to one day, and that we don't have the fact that you can become a director every 4 years? And so this one particular day was not his day. And I remember him saying to me, Eileen, there's a big difference between something good not happening and something bad happening. Let me say that again. There's a big difference between something good not happening and something bad happening. And he said, not getting a medal in the Olympics, that was not a bad thing happening. That was just something good that didn't happen. And ladies, part of my journey on this Mary Kay, my Mary Kay career has been that 2 years ago, at the age of 38, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. And that was 17 days after losing my mom to pancreatic cancer. And that was not something that I had seen coming around my life. And you know, one of my favorite sayings is unnecessary drama. I think as women, we can spend so much energy on making things so dramatic, and we take that energy away from building our business or being positive or being excited or having good enthusiasm because we're so busy with the unnecessary drama of the situation. And so that has always been my thing, is unnecessary drama. And so we did what we needed to do. We got in. I had a mastectomy. I was cancer-free. Life was going along. And then 18 months later, last May, actually May 2nd to be exact, of 2006, my cancer came back to my liver and to my bones. And when your cancer comes back, it's a whole new ballgame. And I wish that I could sit here and tell you today that almost a year later that I was cancer-free, but I am not. There is still much cancer in my liver and a lot of cancer on my bones. And so this scenario in my life has helped me with a lot of things. One, it keeps things in perspective. I think sometimes when we get a no, and a no is just part of the business. It is not everybody is going to say yes to you. And I think sometimes I can see consultants and they get 2 no's and they go, nobody wants to book, nobody wants a Mary Kay facial, and we just allow so much drama. Think of offering a woman a facial like offering a woman a stick of gum. Some people want a stick of gum. Some people don't want a stick of gum. But when a woman doesn't want a stick of gum, you don't get all bent out of shape and think she doesn't like you and think the gum doesn't work, and you don't send the gum back. And, we just put the gum back in our purse. We have an amazing gift to offer women, an amazing gift. And what helps me when I get a no, because I still get no's just like every other sales director in Mary Kay, is I actually feel sorry for them. I feel sorry for them that they are not going to take the opportunity to have the most incredible pampering session with the #1 product. And that helps me deal with that disappointment. But I also, knowing and living through certain seasons of my life, put it in perspective. This is not chemotherapy. This is not going through MRIs. This is not finding out that you have cancer. And so maybe what my journey's allowed me to do, and I know women on the line who have probably had more lives than I've had happen, and to compare it to certain things that you've lived through and go, let's not make this big of a deal. Okay, this is makeup and this is pampering sessions, and these are things that are fun, that are supposed to be fun and not with all this drama. So, I also think it's really important, though, to ask yourself when you're working your business is, I never ask Mary Kay to be easier, because Mary Kay is what Mary Kay is. The business is never going to change. There's always going to be a certain number of no's. There's always going to be a certain number of cancellations or reschedules. There's always going to be a certain number of people that, decide to do it and then decide not to. Some people are in Mary Kay for a reason, and some people are in for a season, and you've got to be okay with that. I got my master's in mathematics, and thank goodness my professor, who mentored me all through my schooling, is not irritated with me because I'm not using my master's in mathematics the way that she wanted me to. It's okay. That was a season of my life, but Mary Kay is now the reason. And so really understanding that Mary Kay is what Mary Kay is. So whenever something happens, I don't say to myself, oh, why can't Mary Kay just be easier, or why can't more people book? I just say to myself, Eileen, how can you be better? Because that's the only variable that I have total control over, is my attitude, my skills, my working the numbers game. So it's how can I be better? How can I make better use of either my time, my skills, or my talents, or the resources that the company or your sales director has given you? So just to know that Mary Kay is what Mary Kay is, but how can you be better in the situation, okay? So this comes down to what I said at the beginning. It's what you choose to focus on. Sometimes I'll have conversations with consultants, and they'll say, this happened, and, she said this, and this class rescheduled. And as they're talking, I can see all the greatness that could come from that. And I might say, but Susie Q, okay, so this lady couldn't make it to the class. That's okay. Book her for another time. Or, oh my goodness, this class rescheduled. You know what's going to happen? You're going to have 6 instead of 3 that were supposed to be there. I think the reason it rescheduled is because you're going to have even more. And as they're talking, and that is a skill. That is something that I've developed because I'm willing to want to look past the situation. If you are willing to want to look past the situation and focus on something other than the disappointment right at hand, I guarantee you that God will bless you in what the next thing is going to be. And it's usually better, you guys. It's usually better. And so some things, though, that have helped me to avoid dealing with disappointment, I think we got to recognize that it is part of the business, but I've also put systems in place that have helped me to either avoid disappointment or helped me to better deal with it. So a couple of those systems is, number one is visuals. Visuals are so important. I think when you're in Mary Kay for a longer period of time, we can go, oh, yeah, the goal poster, or, oh, yeah, the affirmation tape. Ladies, those things are critical to your success. You have to be willing to invest as much into your head as you are into the activity. It's not just doing 3 plus 3 plus 3. It's doing 3 plus 3 plus 3 with a great attitude and a great heart. And those two things are just as important. One of my Offspring sales directors, Angela Jacobson, she is incredible at selling this product, and she said she tracks. She's a tracker, and she tracked how much her sales were per face, and her sales rose $50 a face when she chose to work on her head. Now, that is a staggering statistic. So, it's just as important to work on your head. So some of the systems to put in place are visuals. Do you have visuals up of that Pontiac red vibe? Do you have visuals up of your head cut out and stuck on the director's suit? A picture of yourself in the director's suit. Have you gone down and sat in the Pontiac vibe and really just sucked in the smell of that new car smell? Have you done the things that evoke emotion when you look at them? I've been taught many times that you need to tie your goals into some type of emotion so that it moves you to want to do that goal and move past the disappointment. The other thing is an affirmation tape. I am so thankful that I do an affirmation tape, and I usually do it after events when I'm really excited, after seminar, after career conference. My affirmation tape sounded something like this. It is June 30th, and I am so excited on a daily basis that I got 2 bookings a day and 5 contacts a day, and, our unit did 100 interviews April, May, and June, and we are sitting, and, I just affirmed everything that was going to happen on a daily basis. And on those days when I have to go back into my cancer world, I need that affirmation tape. And I affirm my health, and I affirm that I'm cancer-free, and, I affirm that, God has taken the cancer away from me and that he's allowed me to beat it. And I affirm those things. And that allows me, when I have to go through testing and shots and injections and chemo and all the things that I need to go through to just live on a daily basis, it allows me to get back faster my mental focus. And that's what I want you guys to understand is that pity party, being the most expensive party you ever throw yourself, is it's not that you'll never feel disappointment. It's just how fast can you bounce back from it. And that is the emotional muscle that I want to help you with this morning and help you figure out how to deal with. And I think when you have visuals up and you've had a disappointment in your office, but you turn and you're staring at a picture of yourself and the top sales directors on a trip, you go, okay, I need to get over that fast because there's only 70 days left until the end of the seminar year, and I cannot afford to stay in this place of disappointment. The other thing is absolutely sharing your goals with your family and enrolling them in your goals, or your best friend or your spouse, whoever it is, somebody who's not going to let you off the hook. Somebody, as Gloria Mayfield Banks says, is going to slap you across the face and say, wake up, okay? It's not that big of a deal. We need to definitely move on from here. I also think another way to keep yourself focused in dealing with the disappointments is to learn how to track yourself, and attract number grows. Let me just say that again. Attract number grows. If you're not tracking yourself, you are always going to feel like you are doing more than you really are. I can remember being a consultant and even as a sales director and just knowing I put the product on 30 faces, just knowing that I did, and then getting to the end of the month and realizing it was 12. So sometimes our disappointment comes because we're just not working enough numbers. And we think there's something wrong with us. We think, well, maybe I'm just not good at this. Maybe I'm not cut out for this. And it has nothing to do with that. It just has to do with the fact that this is a numbers game. And even Mary Kay Ash talked about a third of women are, that are in Mary Kay are thinking about it. A third are on their way out, and a third are moving forward. And so if you're in a red jacket and you're thinking, why isn't my whole team attending meetings and why aren't they all showing up? It's because it's a numbers game. Okay? So I hope that makes you feel a little bit better. Some of the ways that I have avoided feeling disappointment is definitely, number one, I would say, is working the numbers, because that is what I know that I can control. I am the variable that I can control. Number two, avoiding disappointment is really working on my head with that affirmation tape and that goal poster. And number three, that is really big for me personally, is that when I book a skincare class, I get a guest list from the hostess. And what I have been doing that, and I know my topic isn't booking and coaching, but definitely I think when classes cancel, there can be a lot of disappointment in that. And so I think I have one of the best hold rates of skincare classes I've ever seen. And the reason is because I am willing to get a guest list from my hostess of names, numbers, and addresses, minimum of 10. And what I do is I give them the hostess gift. And I know we've all heard that the hostess totes are gone, but you could use the magnifying mirror. You could use, the hostess gift from last quarter. But when they give me 10 names, numbers, and addresses, I will give them the hostess gift. That only costs me $10. I send invitations. I make the follow-up calls. And here's the reason why. Is like I said in the beginning, I do not feel like women book with us and hang up the phone and say, I'm going to make Eileen Huffman's life miserable and cancel that class. But what happens between the time that she says yes and the time that the class holds is life. I believe that women book with us because they either like us, they might have a connection with us, or we've got a really great script and we sell them on the pampering session, but they hold with us because they're getting something out of it for them. There is something that they want that you have figured out their hot button on what you're going to get them. So I get the guest list, I send the invitations, I make the follow-up calls. That way, probably all 10 are not going to be able to show up at her skincare class, but I tell her when we can get 3 friends there, 18 years or older, who don't have a Mary Kay consultant, she can get the 75 for 35. And so she's motivated by that. And when I get one person booked for my hostess's skincare class, I call my hostess immediately and I say, Susie Q, it's Eileen Huffman. I've already got Lori confirmed. I am so excited. I am working towards getting as many more as we can. If you can think of other people, go ahead and invite them. That would be great. What hostess is going to cancel on you when you already have 1 or 2 of her friends booked? That is pretty much, I've had them every now and then cancel, but if you take that control, then your classes are more likely to hold. So I just wanted to share that tip with you because that is a huge way that helps me to deal with disappointment, is by just flat out avoiding it. And then if you have women that have a Mary Kay consultant, you can right then and there tell them that, you know what, we don't step on anybody's toes, and we need to refer her back to her consultant, because have you ever done a class where you show up and there's 4 people sitting there and they all have a Mary Kay beauty consultant? And you leave that class, yes, with maybe some sales, but you couldn't book them for their follow-up and you couldn't share the opportunity because they're not your client. And so always, that's a disappointment. And so this is another way to avoid that disappointment. And then if somebody can't make it for my hostess's class, I book her anyways. And I say, you know what? I will allow the hostess to have some hostess credit if you will go ahead and book with me at another time. What works best for you, a Tuesday or a Saturday morning? Book them and then turn it into a class. So you can take one guest list, ladies, and build a business if you work every piece of it. And that will help you from being disappointed on skincare classes. I know sometimes there are disappointments from not reaching a goal. And isn't it great to know that, and this is one of my husband's favorite sayings, wouldn't it be great? Wouldn't it be great if you didn't make the Olympic, get a gold medal in the Olympics in 1992, that you medaled in 1996? Wouldn't it be great? So for every disappointment I've had, wouldn't it be great if I didn't make this particular goal, that I went ahead and did a power start anyways and got 5 new team members and got myself excited. So, I put it all out, running to the end of the finish line. But I love the saying, wouldn't it be great if this particular person who said she was going to come in with a 3,600 towards the end of the month and she didn't, wouldn't it be great if at my next skincare class I recruit my next future sales director, hotshot team member? Wouldn't it be great? You got to say that to yourself. It changes the negative and turns it into a positive. Wouldn't it be great? Ladies, my time is almost up, and what I want to leave you with is that there is still 10 days left to the end of this month, 10 full days that you can make things great. Isn't it great that we still have 10 full days left? We have a third of the month left. There is still so many things that you can do this month. If you are tracking the 30 faces, 10 interviews, 600 wholesale, great. If you are not tracking it, let's say you're calling into this call and you have not seen one face this month. Do you know that you can do it? Do you know that you can make it happen? If you believe it, if you want it bad enough, if you get out there and hustle. I know when I do my jazzercise classes, when the lady says double time, I know that means it's really going to hurt. Yeah, it might hurt a little that you've got to do double time right now, and you might be a little tired by the end of the month, but who cares? This is life. This is not a dress rehearsal. This is the day that you have. And so grab it, take it, work it, embrace it, and decide that you're going to make a different choice today, and that whatever has been holding you back or disappointing you, that it is done. Because the pity party is over. You are done with that. And one of my favorite sayings is that you can measure a size of a woman by the obstacle it takes to stop her. So I challenge you in the next 10 days to this month and in the next 70 days till the end of the seminar year, choose to be unstoppable. You can measure the size of a woman by the obstacle it takes to stop her. Choose to be unstoppable, because as the theme of this whole Saturday morning conference calls has been is excellence is normal, and excellence is not perfection. Excellence is being the best that you can be today and doing everything that you can do today. If you have not rented the movie Facing the Giants, I highly recommend, don't even rent it, just buy it, because you'll rent it 5 times and then you'll wish you would have bought it like me. So just buy it and then watch it so that you can just get motivated and excited about being the best that you can be today. Ladies, thank you so much. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to be on this call this morning. It's with a humble heart that I encourage each and every single one of you to embrace the day that God has given you and to wake up today and figure out how today can I bless a woman's heart. When you are others focused, that is also an awesome way to deal with any disappointments that you have, stepping outside yourself to focus on other people. Mary Kay was so wise when she gave us a servant's heart, a servant's leadership, and a servant's business, so that we can't spend that much time focused on ourselves. So I thank each and every one of you for taking the time for calling in the call. And Julie and Stephanie, thank the both of you for recording this and giving us all the opportunity to be a part of these Saturday morning conference calls. So I hope you all have a great day, a great finish to the end of the month. Last thing, you can either run to the end of the month looking cute, or you can run to the end of the month with your hair on fire, your clothes falling off. You can be like just a crazy woman as you go flying across the finish line. And I don't know about you ladies, but that's the way I want to live life. So live it to its fullest. Thank you.
Thank you, Eileen. That was awesome.
Okay. I know Erica's heard that before. Um, Danny, have you ever heard that recording before? No. All right. Well, what were your thoughts? Because I've heard it many times and I still took notes. So I'm assuming that you took notes as well and heard some things. What'd you hear, Danny?
Um, it dated itself with jazzercise and renting movies, but yeah. um, like the whole idea of channeling disappointment. Much like the conversation you and I had with lifing where it is and what that actually looks like. Um, Taking it for sure look, but some of the things I highlighted. Um, Mary Kay doesn't come down to one day, so don't let that one day mess up the goals, mess up the forward movement. Like it's okay to have your reaction, but don't have your whole response be around that one day. Um, of course, the tracking thing came back and confirmation. And you can measure, I think she said the fight of a woman by the obstacle it takes to
Size
stop
of a
her.
woman.
Size. Okay. Yeah. A lot of it was confirmation, honestly. How can I be better? Looking forward, what can I do differently? Rebooking and making it a party. And I was like, okay, so it's, yeah, it was good. Got a lot of notes.
Yeah, good, 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 good. And I would encourage you to read those notes again before you go to bed, right? And highlight things, circle things, star things that you're like, this is what the means the most to me, right?
Yeah,
Because yeah, just writing them this one time isn't going to get it into your head enough. It's going to be reading it over again and then even taking notes on your notes, right? And picking out this is what I need right now, right? Because
right.
you don't need it all. What do
Mm-mm.
you need? Um, yeah. Erica or Kathleen, would either of you like to share?
Sure, Bailey's not screaming. I'll share. One of the things that I think stood out the most to me was when she said that Mary Kay doesn't change. Because I think a lot of
Okay.
times, I don't know if she said this, but I wrote that the business is never going to change. So don't pray for Mary Kay to change. Pray for my attitude to change, and then make the
Okay.
choice to just do the work.
Mhm.
Um, and do everything with a great attitude and a thankful heart. Um, and be willing to look past the situation, not the struggle at hand, was another.
Yeah.
I mean, I also took quite a bit of notes, but
Yeah. I'm actually gonna write, I didn't write that part down, but I'm gonna write it down. Be willing to look past the situation and not the struggle at hand. Yeah. So what do you think that means to look past the situation? What would you be looking at then?
well, I think it's like takes me back to David and Goliath. He didn't necessarily look at the giant ahead of him. He looked that God had already provided him victory over a lion and a bear. So what has God provided me victory over in the past? Um
Mhm.
and like he's done it before. He's used me to do certain things before, so he will again if he wants. And
Right.
I've had parties before that, like even if it cancels, then oh well. Like I've had
Right.
good parties before. I've also had bad parties. So it's okay, to just wash your hands of it, dust the or wipe what does Paul do? He dusts the
Shake the dust.
shakes the
Yeah,
dust
shake the
off his
dust.
shoulders and stuff and just like, okay, well
Yeah.
that's their choice. Now but I'm in charge of my
Right.
emotions and how I'm going to move forward.
Right. Right. Absolutely. And I think another part of that too is to look at your visuals, right? Look at your goal and, look past that situation and be like, but this one disappointment doesn't change what my goal is. It doesn't change, what I'm working towards and what my vision is. Um, right? It may change the moment, right? And what you were expecting in the moment, but you're still working towards those goals. And she talked about, having the thing, doing the things that evoke emotion, right?
Hmm.
Because when you can get back into that, what like, the emotional reason why you're working and why you have the goals and what the goal is, then that disappointment doesn't have as much power, right? Your vision has more power than the disappointment that you just experienced. So, yeah. Yeah. I mean, I've been listening to her forever, like since I've been in Mary Kay. And I mean, it's been years since I listened. It hit me differently. And I've said this to so many people, but it hit me differently. I guess being a cancer survivor now, there's a big difference between something good not happening and something bad happening. Yeah, that hit me because it was like, oh yeah. Yeah, like that is so true, like that is so true. I mean, and ladies, I had a zero party on Saturday. Like I have them too, like I had and this party was not convenient. This party was annoying. Like it was in the middle of like a lot of things with my kids. It was a super busy day. Back, I took Caleb to go serve at, feeding the homeless for the morning. And then I missed Ruby's last baseball game of the thing. And then I had the kids' soccer game and there were trophy ceremonies. And then we had a birthday party. I mean, it was insane. And we had 4 people come to my house, 2 of which were men that had no intention of purchasing anything. They were just there so their girl could double her gift card. And did she spend a dime over that gift card? No. Did anyone else buy anything? No. Did I get any referrals? No. It happens, but that's just something good not happening. That wasn't a bad thing that happened, right? That was not a bad thing that happened. We all can think of the bad things that have happened in our life, right? And so when we think of, you know, something good not happening in our business, or just like, but it's not these other experiences that I've had, or that I see other people having. Look at that baby. Oh, she is touching stuff. Oh, look at that smile. Oh, yeah, Bailey, you are a stinker. Oh, look at that. Oh, Erica just throws it to the side. Oh my goodness. All right. So, I think too, like, you can make excuses or you can make money. Right? I mean, it comes down to something as simple as that. So, well, I'm glad I could share that with you ladies. I have so many CDs. And I'm gonna look through some. And Danny, you know what I found? I found the 4-Hour Plan by Tammy Craig in CD form. So we may listen to that, in the future as well and take a look at that. So, yeah, Ashley's girls are gonna be with us. Is it next week they're gonna be with us? They're going to be with us again this month. We might do that, and she's asking if they can be with us in June too. So she's a busy lady. What do you know? So yeah, we might listen to that then. But let's do some recognition. As far as announcements go, in 2 days, we have our summer product preview. Not too late to invite people to that. I'm going to challenge you girls to have 3 guests on that YouTube event. 3 guests that are on live, that are putting in the comment that you are their beauty consultant, right? I don't care if they buy anything, but 3 guests, whether they are new people or existing customers, just 3 guests, right? Which means that you're going to want to have 5 to 6 people that say that they will be there, because a half will show up, right? And a half won't be there because life happens, just like what Eileen Huffman said. Eileen did wind up passing away of cancer, by the way. So she did, but her goal poster, I think this is so beautiful, in her hospital room on the ceiling, or maybe it was in her bedroom. I don't know. Wherever she spent her last days, the goal poster that she looked at on the ceiling was heaven. Isn't that awesome? Like she kept that visual ahead of her. Like she's She was a very special lady, and there's still a lot of people in Mary Kay who remember her. She just made such a huge impact. In not that many years of being in Mary Kay, she was incredible. So, all right. So we've got the summer launch. We are also going to be featuring the sunscreen SPF 50 and the after sun replenishing gel. So just know that that's also going to be featured. We also have, let's see what else is coming up. That's it. That's what we've got. That's our next thing because we have a ton of conflicts on the other days. And then we do have our meeting for the rest of this month. I don't have a June calendar to give you yet. Ashley and I are working on that, but once we have those events figured out, we will let you know. Oh, let me know if you are doing Winning Wednesday tomorrow, if you plan on having guests on that marketing event. Okay. So let me know, and then I'll get you all that information for that too. So, all right. Well, if you sold any products last week, will you raise your hand? If you sold $1, raise your hand for selling any product. Okay. Well, that's a little awkward. And Maya's not here, but we will just give her some recognition. $710 sold last week. That may be, is that a record for her, Erica? It might be close. I know she sold over
It's close.
600 before.
I mean,
Yeah.
she sold 610 to two people, so I think that's a record for her.
Yeah.
And these are the people that we ran into and I met at the restaurant that she
Oh,
had known from like 10 years ago or something. And
wow.
I thought she was going to kill me, but this lady, she's like, okay, well, enjoy your dinner. And I was like, well, now that you and Maya have reconnected, would you please give her your phone number because she wants to do a facial with you? And she goes, it's so fun. My sister would love to do that. And Maya like looks at me. She's like, it's okay. Like only if you want to. She's like, no, that would be so fun. So it was really funny.
Erica, I love it. I didn't know that story was behind it all.
It's
Oh
so
my
funny.
goodness. That's fantastic. And you know what? Don't you find that you can be bolder when it's not for your business and it's for
Yeah.
someone else's?
Well, and two, I'm trying to be a good example. So like I got the waitress's information because Maya was sitting right there. So
There you
I
go.
need to like go more places with her.
There you go. Well, and there is so much power in having a partner, right? That's why we call them power partners. So if you don't have a power partner, go recruit somebody who wants to do this business and make them your power partner. Oh my goodness, I love that. Hold on. Let me get a drink of water here. Okay, well, Maya is our queen of sales. All right, and she's also got another facial tomorrow. So watch out. She might be queen of sales next week as well. Very exciting. Let's look at bookings. If you have one party booked, raise your hand for one party going on. All right. Yay. All right. Two parties. Keep it up. Three parties. Four. Oh, how many, Danny? Two? Did Erica two or one? One. Danny. Woo. Okay. Are they all in the month of May? Both of them? One is in May. Okay. All right. Very good. We've got more than half of the month. There's time for more parties, right? Don't we agree? Yeah, definitely have more time for more parties. Okay, and then faces. If you have one face booked as a virtual guest or single. All right, one. Yay, Kathleen. All right, two faces. Keep it up. Three. Awesome. Four, five, six. Okay, Danny, four. Erica, three. Kathleen, was that one? Okay. All right, very good. How many are for this Thursday with the summer launch? Hmm. Okay, so your Kathleen is one. Okay. Oh, Erica's already got three. Okay, Erica, you gotta get three more. Okay. All right. Very good. Danny, you gotta get three more. Kathleen, three more. Everybody get three more. That is only going to be better. You will only get more results, more sales. It's just gonna be better. Take a look too. If you are, there's a few things I need to tell you. Also, I believe it's on the 16th. The price of a lot of things are going up. Okay, so you get your order in now. If there's anything that you want for yourself, that you want on your inventory, take a look at what products the retail price is going up and get your order in now. Stock up on those prices. You can stock up on those prices now, but then once those prices come into effect in our lookbook that's coming out, that that's going to be mailed out this month, and also that is going to be on our website, those are the prices you charge, even though you purchased it at a lower price. So you can actually increase your income that way as well. But I do have to tell you that because you need to know. If you're not paying attention to that, take a look at what prices are going up. Okay, next thing is going to be Pink Possibility Chats. If you had one Pink Possibility Chat last week, raise your hand. Okay. All right, girls. I'm not even disappointed because I need a swift kick in my butt too. So I do have a bridal party tomorrow, and I've got two others for the rest of this month. So yeah, more bridal parties coming. But yeah, and I'm gonna do the repair set for the first time for everyone, and right, because we're gonna show them the best of the best, and we can always customize down from there, but show them the best to start with. So, well, thank you for joining me tonight. I know it's 8:52, and I'll see you next week. If there is anything in particular that you want to go over for one of our Power Up meetings or that you want to share, let me know. I'd love to have you all share again. All right. Have a good night. Bye, girls.